we found it's actually over 98% accurate, more accurate than blood work. You got to know your blood is constantly racing through your body all the time. So just like when they draw blood from you, it's a snapshot of what is going on with your body at that moment in time. The difference is when they draw blood, the blood that they're drawing is already exposed to oxygen. So it's already changed the functionality kind of your blood because it's been exposed to oxygen as it's going into the tube and when they're bringing it in test rooms and they test it. But from your voice, it reads it. And it's like I said, it is a snapshot. It picks up on the frequencies, things that are stuck in your gut. It combines a number of things. So it will kick out MRI-like images. It uses the Ayurveda medicine for the chakras, the meridians, which are your acupressure points. If there's a block or something that's off in some area, it's going to cause pain or discomfort in a different area. And it picks all that up. So it goes into physical links, emotional links, colors.
Hello, welcome to the next episode of Healing Millions podcast. Oh my God, today I'm super excited about this episode. It's going to blow your mind, and it definitely blew my mind away because what I saw was, oh my God, it's really unique and special. And today I have a very special guest today, Laura Cross from Mindful Mondays, who is going to talk about AO scans. Oh my God, I'm so excited to explore about this. Laura, thank you so much for being on my show. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Laura, can you please introduce yourself to my audience, who you are, what you do, and how did you come across this amazing scan, AO scan? We will talk about what that is, but just introduce yourself to my audience, please.
Sure. Laura Cross. I'm actually in Fairgrove, Missouri, but I work with people worldwide. My passion since I lost my husband over 21 years ago is, for holistic health and healing. There's so much that we have available to do ourselves. So, I did first get into travel, but that's an important part of, holistic healing, and white sand self-care. And from there, I wanted to create a judgment-free platform that provided resources, education, connection, and collaboration because we were all trained or taught something different in school, and there's so much more out there. And I wanted people to know that they were not alone, that there's someone else out there that's going through maybe something similar that they're there that they can help them. So I launched the Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross TV show, and one of my guests that I had on last year was Dr. Grant out of Toronto, Canada. And besides the fact that he's biofeedback toxicologist, he's got 3 doctorates. He's been doing medicine for a while, but he is the one that did the AO scan for me. And I was, like you, I was blown away about how the AO voice scan worked. So I got a hold of that and I started working side by side with him for months so that I could help people get a good snapshot. And what I have learned over the years and what I have discovered is that your body is the best MRI tool that you will ever have. You just have to know how to listen to it. And this tool helps us discover the root cause. We're not there to diagnose people, I'm not a doctor. We're not there to diagnose you, but it is to discover the root cause of your discomfort and your disease.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself and talking about AO scans. For people who are wondering, what does she even talk about? What is AO scan? Can you explain to them how it works and why it's so unique? Because what I saw when you did AO scan with me, I was like, oh my God, this thing knows everything about me. It knew that I ate green peas, that I ate tomatoes, seafood. It knew everything about me, and I was blown away. Can you tell people what AO scan is and why is it so special?
The AO is for alpha omega, for before and after is what that stands for. And it takes the Rife frequencies and Nikola Tesla technology together. We are all vibration, energy, and we're all frequency. I mean, if you've never studied quantum, it's there. You cannot block vibrations and energy. Everything has a vibration and energy. The colors we see, the chair you're sitting on, even though it's still, doesn't mean it doesn't have a frequency and a vibration to it. And so when we speak, you have literally thousands of vibrations and frequencies coming out of you when you speak. And it will depend on your emotions and what's going on. If you have suffered something traumatic and you may be putting on a good face, but there's something there, this machine will pick that up. And it affects our health because there's a lot of things that people don't realize, things that we've experienced, things that we've gone through, that we've shoved way down, that we think we've dealt with, are actually affecting our health if we haven't truly dealt with it. And so what this does in 10 seconds of capturing your voice, and I know it sounds unreal, but it only takes 10 seconds for it to capture your voice, and it takes the 3 highest frequencies and the 1 lowest one, and then it actually tries to optimize you, and it sends vibrations and frequencies to you while it's scanning you, and then it gives you a second number. And so that's what we look at, but it's trying to bring you back into balance. And people that are very in tune to their body and their feelings and what's going on. I can scan people in Italy, which I've done, Netherlands, Germany, all over the place. And if they are sensitive to it, sometimes they will feel it either in their heart, maybe their stomach, their head. Other people don't, but then it's not that people can't. It's just a lot of times we don't slow down enough to even be tuned into what our body is trying to tell us or going through. And so, yeah, it kicks out hundreds of pages of information for you.
I was really blown away when you showed me the report on my body. I was like, oh, it knew everything about me in just 10 seconds. Me speaking to that device, so like to my laptop, actually pick up the frequency of my voice, even though I live in Vienna and you're in the States. It was like, oh my God, how it knew everything about me. And thank you so much for explaining that everything has a frequency. And, even though we are not aware of that, there are still frequencies around us. Uh, while we were talking and preparing for this interview, you mentioned that this AO scan is 99% accurate. Can you talk about that as well?
We found it's actually over 98% accurate, more accurate than blood work. You got to know your blood is constantly racing through your body all the time. So just like when they draw blood from you, it's a snapshot of what is going on with your body at that moment in time. The difference is when they draw blood, the blood that they're drawing is already exposed to oxygen. So it's already changed the functionality kind of your blood because it's been exposed to oxygen as it's going into the tube and when they're bringing it in test rooms and they test it. But from your voice, it reads it. And it's, like I said, it is a snapshot. So if you just ate something before you do the scan, we don't normally tell people, hey, don't eat, or, don't eat anything 3 hours before, just like you would normally fast for a blood work. So if you want really accurate, don't eat 3 hours before. But if you just ate something, like say I just ate a bunch of chicken or something, it could come up for me as a double red saying your body says no more chicken. Because what we look for is double reds. But it takes that snapshot in time, and it's wild the way it works, but it picks up on the frequencies, things that are stuck in your gut. It combines a number of things, so it will kick out MRI-like images. As you saw when we did that, it uses the Ayurveda medicine for the chakras, the meridians, which are your acupressure points. And if anybody doesn't know what those are, the way we explain it to people is the chakras are like the circuit breakers in your house, and the meridians are like the wires going to the circuit breakers. You need both of those to turn the lights on in your house. You need both of those together. That's how everything flows and connects in your body. So if there's a block or something that's off in some area, it's going to cause pain or discomfort in a different area, and it picks all that up. So it goes into physical links, emotional links, um, colors. Me, I'm blue and purple. Well, some people know their colors, some people don't, but I tell people there's a reason restaurants are painted a certain color, spas are painted a certain color. One wants you to relax, the other one wants you to eat and drink more. So, and it's because it has a vibration and energy to it. Just not everybody's aware of that.
Thank you so much for explaining that. I was really shocked when I saw that it really knows my chakras, my meridians, like really details that not everybody knows. I never share these details in the public about my blood test or things like that. It's just a private thing, but it knew exactly what is happening if I have mineral inefficiency or if I need to take magnesium. It knew everything. So for people who are listening and saying, okay, that sounds like a woo-woo, is there any science behind that?
Oh, there's a ton of science and stuff behind it. Um, I, I don't know the quotes from all of it, but it's done by a company called Solex LLC, and they constantly have videos and stuff on there. You know, it's hard sometimes for people to wrap their head around something, but this isn't invasive. You're not being stuck by needles. You're not getting, corrosive dyes shoved into your body to find stuff. Um, so, I mean, what does it hurt? Right? To find out. And if people are, I've had people that were maybe a little skeptical and they did it and they scoured through that whole report. They took that report to their doctor and discussed things. And even their doctor was blown away at how this could tell them what they were going to tell them. And again, it depends on what, doctors you see. It's kind of a lot of people combine Western and Eastern. It just depends on your beliefs. You have to go with what you're comfortable with. But it's always great to have some insight. If nothing else, it's going to give you something to have a discussion with your doctors or have them check for something that maybe they wouldn't have checked for if you feel you need to do that. Many people I know work with holistic or natural doctors, so it just depends.
It's just a beautiful starting point for people to really explore what's happening in the body. Because let's be honest, we don't know everything. We really don't know. And, sometimes doctors are tapping in the darkness and trying to figure out what's happening. But if you have a starting point, then you can go and explore and do more research about that and more blood tests and more scans. I think it's helpful. And as you mentioned, there are no needles stitched to your body. It doesn't cause really pain. Basically, you just get on the call with Laura and you get your scan. Amazing. I think it's so good that you can do that from your home. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just to have a coffee chat with Laura and she can do it for you. So, Laura, you already mentioned something very important, that people take these scans and reports to the doctors. So, how have doctors, nurses, or other medical professionals responded when they saw the reports? You mentioned that it blew them away, but did you have doctors and nurses that wanted this scan for themselves? They wanted you to do scan for them.
So I have heard of a couple people, and I have other people that are they're more in the holistic and the healing field that want to know about it or have it as a tool for their own. Me personally, I trust it, and I trust Dr. Grant that I work with because of his background and what he's been doing and the knowledge that he has. So that is my choice. And I'm not one that normally goes to doctors very often anyway, but I do have clients that have, and they have taken it to them. They've told me what their doctors have said, and that they had agreed with things on it. And she just said that what their doctor said absolutely backed up what the scan had already told her. So, some people need to do that. You really have to follow what you feel is right for you. I'm not here to tell people one way or another, but I always learned that for me, it's better to be armed with the right questions or concerns, and then feel it out because I lost my husband 21 years ago, and we trusted him, which is not something we should have done. They did the wrong tests and it cost him his life. So I have learned to find more things, get more armed to say, hey, and have more of an intelligent conversation with them. But the more I'm in the holistic world, I really love doing the combination of both. Like I said, Western medicine has its place when you need to, but we really do truly have the ability to fix and heal ourselves with a lot of things. But I can tell you, if you don't change your lifestyle, you can throw all the supplements and stuff in the world at people, and it's not going to fix it unless you change your lifestyle. If you are doing something constantly that is continuing to make you discomfort or disease, it's not going to go away unless you change your lifestyle.
I 100% agree with that. And that's why I always tell people healing doesn't happen overnight. It's a process because the hardest thing to change is the habits that brought us in the situation we are currently in that caused us to have a pain. And that's why if you really want to help clients, you need to take them on a journey and provide the best support and healing for them to really build sustainable habits. That's all about what we do, helping people see the opportunities and doing different things. Um, Laura, you touched something that was really, really important. You said having holistic picture of your own body and health is so important. And I know you have an amazing show called Mindful Mondays. Can you share a little bit about that as well?
For me, that is, like I said, about creating a judgment-free, holistic space. And it has, the woo-woo and the intuitive stuff, but it's also has people on there that covers business. I cover business, personal, emotional, spiritual. It's everything because mindfulness and self-care is in everything. I always get a kick out of people that try to say, well, work is work and home is home. But it's not. If something is really off or wrong in your work, it spills over into your home life. You may think you're keeping it separate, but you're not, because it affects your mood, your tone, how you're coming across to people, whether you realize it or not. A lot of times we all try to put on a good face, but if there's something going seriously wrong, it affects, so it's all together. So and if you're a solopreneur like me and you're trying to do it all, it's impossible to be really good at doing it all. So to bring people in that can help people relieve maybe the stress of, oh my god, I have to do marketing, or I have to do this, or setting intentions, intuitive, it goes across the board. So I love bringing different people in because I think when people can share their challenges and their journey, how they got over it and how they help others to get over it, or they can help others through it, then you can resonate with them more when you hear from them. And that's the whole premise of doing that, is I want people to know that they're supported. They don't have to be worried about being judged for their thoughts or their feelings, but there's people out there that they can resonate with, that they connect, and they're not always in your backyard. So I have people on from like you. I loved your episode with the Healing Millions and what you do. And I've had people on from all over the world. So it gives you a good opportunity to connect with a lot of different people.
Thank you. I cannot agree with you more because I know that your group, Facebook group, is such inspiring, a beautiful place to be, and everybody's uplifting, encouraging each other. And your TV show, Mindful Mondays, it's a really beautiful show to uplift people and show them what is possible and show them, hey, you're not alone in this. We are doing this together. And every single person has a challenge, no matter where you live and what you do. We all have our own challenges. And when you think about the work you do, you're doing these amazing scans that literally blew up. Like it was really unbelievable when I saw the scan. I was like, I was speechless. I mean, never really speechless, but I was speechless. And you are telling me all these things and explaining everything. And I know the work you do. I know it's beautiful, it's profound, and it really changes people's lives. And you know, now that you do all of that, what is one truth you now live by that you wish more people knew?
The one thing I guess that all of this has taught me is to trust your intuition and trust your gut. Don't just blindly follow doctors or anyone that wants to try and tell you that this is how it has to be or this is what's right. Only you know what's right for you. And so, yeah, there's lots of people we can learn from, we can do from, we can learn stuff from, and I love learning, but you got to figure out what's right for you and what fits you, and don't try to keep, following into somebody else's mold. I always tell people when you're doing stuff, if it doesn't light you up, then you're probably not in you're probably not in the right area, because it shouldn't be like a job. It should light you up. But yeah, I just trust your intuition, and trust your gut. So
You mentioned something that is really important. Your husband was misdiagnosed and he died. And if you could go back to your younger self and give yourself advice, what would you say to your younger self?
should have asked more questions. I should have dug into stuff and asked more questions. And part of it was him. He did not tell me until he had to come home with paddles stuck on him. He was 36 and he came home watching TV, just sitting watching TV, and his heart was racing. And he knew his family had a history of aortic arch dissection / heart attacks. And he lost his dad when he was 40. He lost uncles in their 40s, grandfathers in their 40s, and he was 36. So I know he told the flight surgeon his family history. She ignored it. She did a chest x-ray and a CAT scan, or chest x-ray, not chest x-ray, sorry. She did an EKG test and a blood pressure test. That's all she did. What she should have done was the CAT scan and a chest x-ray, but they never did that. And then he had another episode, so she hooked him up to this monitor and said, do everything you can. And when it happens, hit this button. Well, it didn't happen. So she told him it was just post-traumatic stress from being shot at in Iraq. Totally ignored his family history. And the year later is when he had the issue and went into the hospital and into operating table and never came out. So we were laughing at lunch, and he was dead by 10. So that was a very rude awakening.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Well, you got to learn, right? You got to learn from it. And, but I used to always, because I grew up in that kind of world where you don't feel good, you go to the doctors, whatever they say you do, whatever they say you take, you take. But if you really start digging in and looking into that stuff, I mean, there are so many god awful side effects to it, which creates more problems. And it just kind of keeps you hooked on one thing or another. And I've been down that road. Used to have a bulge disc. I've been through the painkillers, the muscle relaxers, the injections in my spine. Since I lost my husband, I will not take any of those. I do not take any of those. I've learned what I can do with a chiropractor, acupuncture, massage, and now I have this whole world of holistic things, frequency healing, you name it. And I have never been healthier. If you do one of those scans where it tells you your biological age and your actual age, I may be 57, but I come up as a 45-year-old. So I know I'm very, very healthy. So I feel like I'm on the right path. And if I can help others do the same and not be reliant on medications, or just, I hear so many people saying, oh, it runs in my family. So it's like they just accept that this is what they're going to get. Just because it's in your genes doesn't mean you're going to have it. You can change things by changing your lifestyle and what you do and what you put in your body and what you feed it. You really do have control over it.
I love that you can change that by changing your lifestyle. Yeah, I think that's the most important message. Laura, thank you so much for sharing your personal stories. And, sometimes we go through really difficult and challenging situations in our life just to be light for others and show them that there is a better way. There is another way for you to find your own healing and find your own way to live a better life. What is the biggest dream that you want to pursue right now with the work you do?
I would love to see more people take control of their own health and make their own decisions, because I know it's possible. I, yeah, just to live healthier, longer lives and to be in control, to know that you're in control. We've always had control, just for some reason, a lot of us have, let go of that for some reason. We just think, oh, well, the doctor says I need to do this. Well, there's more stuff out there, it's okay to question it or to do your own thing.
Laura, if somebody wants to get AO scan, which I highly recommend because it's going to blow your mind, when you see all the details about yourself, like, oh my God, it's a pages long report about you and your body and your health. If somebody wants to get AO scan, how they can get that and how they can connect with you?
All they have to do is connect with me and talk to me about it. I'm happy to work with people. If they can't afford it, there is a small fee for it. But other than that, I'm also happy to work with people because I don't want that to inhibit them from living a healthier life and getting their health. So just reach out to me. You can either reach out to me on Facebook. You can email me. Email me is whitesandsselfcare@gmail.com, or you can connect with me on Facebook. Just look for Laura Cross White Sands, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and just message me.
We'll put all the details in the description below so you can connect with Laura. Laura, thank you so much for the work you do. Thank you for being beautiful light in this world and inspiring people that there is a better way of living our life, and we have a choice to change our lifestyle and be much healthier and happier. Thank you so much for being on my podcast today. And for everybody who was watching this or listening, thank you so much for being here. If this episode inspired you, moved you, and touched you in any way, please share it with your friends and family members we want to inspire as many people as possible to live better and healthier life. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, be brave, shine your light because the world needs that love and light inside of you more than ever. I'm sending you lots of love and big hug. Bye for now.